Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where a police officer walked up to an innocent man exercising his right to record before pulling a gun on him and putting him in handcuffs. On October 4th, 2023, an auditor, who is known as Riverside County Accountability, was in the city of Temecula, California, where he set out to conduct a First Amendment audit. He made his way to the parking lot of a business, but made sure to stay out of private property and remain on public property where he could rightfully record whatever was visible. The auditor stood around and recorded for approximately 3 minutes before a worker from inside the building came outside to question him about what was going on and why he was recording. This entire encounter was captured on the auditor's camera, which we will now review.
What's going on?
How's it going?
What are you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
All right. What are you filming?
I can't disclose that right now.
You can't disclose that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're on private property filming.
I'm not on your property.
You're not?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, this isn't
I was
private.
asking what you're doing here.
No, I know. I can't disclose that.
You can't disclose it?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You have a card or something? For...
No.
No?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Are you the manager, though?
One of them.
Okay.
I'm just curious what's going on.
Yeah.
Unless
No.
you're not casing the joint.
Just can't disclose that right now.
It's carrying a BB gun?
It's not a BB gun.
What is it?
Can't disclose that.
You can't disclose that.
Can't disclose any information, man.
You can't. Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Now, it's important to clarify something right away, and it's somehow an element that law enforcement often tends to overlook and disregard. Every single person in the United States has the legal constitutional right to record in public anything and everything that's out there visible to the human eye. This is backed by the First Amendment to the Constitution, which states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The freedom of the press essentially protects the rights of individuals to record and distribute information without government interference or limitation. So the point is, the auditor, just like everyone else, had the right to record while on public property, which he was in this case. More on that soon. Anyway, following this exchange with the worker, the auditor was approached by another staff member who asked the same questions again and got the same response. They were somewhat unhappy with the fact that a man was exercising his constitutional rights out in public.
No, I didn't ask for help, man.
Huh?
I didn't ask for help.
No, but you're standing out here recording.
Yeah.
For what?
I can't disclose that.
Okay. Here. How about we take a picture of each other? That is private property.
No, it's not.
It's not? How is it not?
This is considered public easement, man.
Oh, it is?
Yes. Even if there's not a sidewalk,
Okay.
it's considered public easement.
So go straight to the curb. So. Yeah, but I guarantee if you got hurt right there, you'd say, oh, you were on our property.
No, negative. Why would I get hurt?
I'm just saying. You'd say you'd get hurt. It's an if.
If. Yeah, but I mean, how would I get hurt? There's no if. Thank you, man. Go back inside. Get back to work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. So I just thought about it. Even though these guys were saying that I'm on their property, they never once asked me to get off their property. Even if I was on their property, this is not their property though. I can guarantee you that. Look at, they have a sidewalk over there. It just stops right there. But this is still considered public easement.
This is an appropriate time to clarify whether the auditor was actually, by law, on public property. Firstly, note that the auditor was standing on what's called an easement. Under California law, there are generally 4 kinds of easements. We have an express easement, prescriptive easement, implied easement by existing use, and easement by necessity. Our focus in this case is the express easement, which is an easement for right-of-way purposes expressly granted by the property owner. Bear in mind that public access roads and utility easements are the most common types of express easements in which rights are granted to an entity, such as a utility company or municipality and their employees. To better understand this, sidewalks or walking paths in front of your property are likely express easements. You still own the property, which is why you are responsible for the maintenance. The public can use those walkways without impediment. This was exactly the case here, meaning that we can confirm that the auditor was lawfully recording while standing on a public easement in terms of a sidewalk. Now, this is where the situation escalates in an outrageous manner as soon as an officer arrives on the scene. Watch closely what happens.
How you doing?
Hey, you carry that. Okay, what is that right there? Is that fake or what?
You don't need to take out your gun.
No, put your hands up. Put that against the truck right now.
You don't need to do all that.
Against the truck right now.
You can look at it, man.
I will. Put it against the truck right
Yo.
now. 84, I got one at one point. He's got super hands.
Relax, man. It's not a freaking gun. You can look with your eyes. It's not a gun.
Stay right there.
I'm not moving, man.
Separate your feet for me too.
They are. Oh man, dude. Relax, you're gonna break my stuff.
I'm not pressing against you. Just keep the other hand. Keep the hand on the windshield. Hey, you'll see my bike. I don't have any off of Robin's pull behind it. It's on. We got him against a red Chevy truck in front of the business.
You can see with your eyes, man, that it's not a gun. There's no need for you to take out your gun.
Check first, okay?
Well, you can check. Start checking. You're not even looking at me. You're looking away from me. You already know that it's not a gun.
I don't know what it is.
Yes, you do.
When we get here, we're just gonna put some handcuffs on you. We're gonna check.
There's no need for handcuffs. Why do you need to put handcuffs on me?
As seen in the footage, an officer pulled up to the scene and immediately got off his motorcycle with a hand on his gun. It's worth clarifying that the auditor had a holster with a legally owned taser in it, certainly not a gun whatsoever. Despite this, the officer proceeded to approach the auditor and promptly pulled out his gun while aiming it directly at the auditor. Now, this is actually considered a use of force. For many, if not most agencies, the act of drawing the service pistol from the holster and pointing it at a subject is considered a use of force. By extension, if we refer to Riverside County's use of force policy under the drawing or exhibiting firearm heading, it stated that officers shall only draw or exhibit a firearm when there is a reasonable likelihood of danger to the officer or other persons. This, in fact, comes under a deadly use of force as per this policy, and it's ruled that officers are authorized the use of deadly force to protect themselves or others from an immediate threat of death or serious bodily injury, or prevent a crime where the suspect's actions place persons in jeopardy of death or serious bodily injury, or to apprehend a fleeing felon for a crime involving serious bodily injury or the use of deadly force where there is a substantial risk that the person whose arrest is sought will cause death or serious bodily injury to others if apprehension is delayed. After reading this, we become clear about the fact that the officer had not reasonably drawn his firearm whatsoever, mainly because his life was certainly not under threat by any means. The auditor was simply holding a camera and his hands were not reaching into his pocket or the holster itself.
There's no need to put handcuffs on me, man. You know.
Where? I got him against the truck. Just grab that hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sir.
You can see that's not a gun.
Got anything else on you?
else on you, sir?
No, that's it.
I'm going to pat you down real quick.
That's fine. But I don't consent to any searches or seizures, man.
What's in your pocket?
Cigarettes, my phone.
I'm just going to pull it out, okay?
Why are you taking stuff out of my pocket, man?
Because I just want to drop it on the floor, okay? Relax.
There's no need to put cuffs on me, man. Why are you guys putting cuffs on me?
Right now, dude. Relax.
Hi, Robert. Can I drink up your head?
Hey.
Once we figure out what's going on, then we'll go from there, okay?
That's fine.
Relax. Just come on.
Okay.
Pop off or what?
Yeah, you're supposed to.
So I just pull out and just filming the business. I can see he's got a holster. I just head him up against the
Just pull
truck.
this off of you, okay?
Yeah, you take the cuff off me, man.
Hey,
Take the cuff and just don't rip it, please.
I'm not gonna rip it. Oh, they don't pop off?
Yeah, they don't pop off like that. Yeah.
Just give me a second here.
You're straight violating my rights, man.
I'm not violating your rights, dude.
Yeah, you are. You just went through my pockets.
An armed man here, that's over here. Okay?
Well, I have not
So we gotta
committed.
do
I have not committed,
investigation.
broken any law. I have not committed any crime. So there's no need for you guys to put me in handcuffs or detain me.
I'm sorry? Go ahead.
Yep.
It'll be a second. All right. So now that we got this squared away, all right, he's going to ask a few questions, okay?
Is this your truck, sir?
No.
Okay.
Let's do this real quick. Let's have a seat somewhere here. Just have a seat for me right there, man, will you?
At this point, the auditor was detained without a particular reason given by the officers on the scene. They went as far as to place him in handcuffs and sat him down on the curb for further questioning. But what's important to keep in mind once again is that they were not able to give him a valid reason for the detainment. This was essentially because he was unlawfully detained. You see, in California, law enforcement officers can temporarily detain you when they have a reasonable suspicion based on objective facts that you may be involved in misdemeanor or felony criminal activity. This is true even if a peace officer does not have an arrest warrant or a search warrant. Also, let's not forget that one of the officers even reached into the auditor's pockets without consent and pulled out all his belongings down to the floor. These actions imply that the officers conducted what's known as a Terry stop, which refers to a controversial practice allowing police to temporarily detain and search you in a public place without a warrant. But then again, in California, law enforcement can conduct stop and frisk only if they have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. The officers had none in this case. All these facts led up to only one conclusion. The auditor was unlawfully searched and detained, violating his Fourth Amendment right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Once we get this figured out, we'll get the cuffs off you.
So, where are you at in this particular business, sir?
I'm just out here practicing my rights, man. My First Amendment right.
Why would you pick this place?
I was walking down the whole street, not just this place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any
I
idea
like,
or
I
anything
like
we
the
can see?
name, All American, so
Do you have any idea that we can see real quick?
why do I need to provide that though?
We have to identify who you are, sir, okay? We're here on a call for an armed man.
Yeah, but what
That's
law
why
have I
we're here,
broken?
okay? Once we split this away,
I have
we'll
not
give you your
committed
stuff
any
and you'll
crime.
be on your way.
I have not committed any crime. I have not broken any law. I don't need to identify. It's not illegal to carry a taser.
What's your name? It is if you're a felon, so that's what we gotta make sure.
I'm not a felon.
How do we know that?
I'm telling you.
Well, I don't believe you. I don't take your word for it. And your name will verify who you are. Will verify that you should have this. You're on
You'll be on
probation.
your way.
I have not broken any law. I have not committed any crime.
Can you give us
I
your name or not?
don't need to identify.
Yes, you do, man. We'll get the ibis. We'll get the ibis.
Yeah. Were you asked to leave by this business by any chance?
No, I was not. And I'm not on their property. This is considered public easement, man. Look at the sidewalk on that side. Look at the fire hydrant right there. That's all city property, man. I know my rights. I know what I'm allowed to do and not allowed to do.
Well, it's suspicious. That's why we're here.
It's suspicious.
Yeah. You see us walking around, filming people with a holster carrying it looks like a firearm? No. So why would you be out here?
Is suspicion a misdemeanor or a felony?
Why would you be out here?
Is suspicion a felony or a misdemeanor?
We got called for armed subject.
Yeah,
That's
you.
fine. Fine.
That's why we're here.
I know
Not
why
for
you're here.
suspicion for armed subject.
That's fine. But if
That's
I
how
have
they
not
explain-
committed any crime, I don't need to identify that.
But we need to verify that you're not a felon.
Not
Possession of a taser.
Not a felony. Why would I carry a taser and still wait here for you guys to show up?
How'd you know we were coming?
Yeah, I seen them on the phone. I know you guys are coming. But yeah, I mean, I don't need to identify.
By now, we finally hear a reason for the detainment. One of the officers claimed that the auditor was placed in handcuffs due to a suspicion of an armed subject, and now they needed to keep him detained even further to check if he was a felon because he was carrying a taser in his holster. But this basically exposed the officer's tyranny, because since they're now very clear about the fact that the auditor did not have a gun and it was just a taser, they technically must release him from detainment because the initial reason for it was now void. The alleged investigation was over. Also, the auditor stated that he did not need to identify himself to the officers since he had not committed a crime, and this was 100% true and justified. The officers at this point were simply prolonging the detainment for no reason.
Your truck? I'm gonna move this so we don't sit on someone else's vehicle that doesn't belong to you. You want to sit it down on your lap, or how do you want it? I just don't want to damage anything. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
I don't want to have it damage on the tree.
Appreciate that, man.
Sure.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chavez, we're just going to make sure you have no wants or warrants. Make sure you're not on probation or parole. Sir, let me ask you something, right? Listen, here's a different scenario. Let's say you're at home and Corporal and I, you don't know us, we're out there and we have what appears to be,
this is not a house, man.
Sidearm.
This is not a house, man.
It doesn't matter.
It
We're
doesn't
in your
matter.
neighborhood.
No,
Would
it's
your
irrelevant.
family calling
It's
us?
irrelevant, man.
Would your family calling us? Yes or no?
It's irrelevant, man, because
No,
this
it's
is not a
irrelevant.
business. I don't
You
go to
answer the
houses.
question because you
I
know
don't
they
know.
would.
I don't go to houses.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying hypothetically, in this other situation, would your family call on someone?
If my
that was
parents,
armed?
if my family had a business, then by all means record. But a house
Okay.
is different.
No, it's not.
It is.
I'm saying hypothetically, business, house, whatever.
All right, man.
Would your family call?
It's fine, man. I'm not gonna answer your questions.
Yes, they would.
I'm not
You know
gonna
they
answer your
would.
questions, man.
Before we leave, I want to check with the manager and see if they maintain this property that's theirs, they're going to ask you to leave. Okay? And you get one chance to leave before they sign a private person's arrest. If you come back,
This is not
you'll
their
be arrested
property.
for
You
trespassing.
better look at the property lines before
Yeah,
you
I
do
will.
that.
That's what I
If
said.
not, there's gonna be a
As I'm
lawsuit.
saying, I'm going to ask the manager if they maintain this.
Okay, he can say yes, but if you got to look at the property lines, man.
Well, his word is going to be good enough for me right
Okay,
now.
then we're gonna have a lawsuit.
Well, the tree's most likely going to fall under their property line.
Well, yeah, you guys put me right here.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
You were
you
right
guys,
here,
you
sir.
guys
They
sat me
contacted
here.
you.
Yeah, you guys sat me here.
You were right here when I contacted
Exactly,
Okay,
where
so
where
truck
I'm
doesn't
allowed to
belong
be.
to you.
Where I'm allowed to be.
you. You didn't belong to this truck. This truck doesn't belong to you.
I didn't say it
You shouldn't
did.
be standing near it.
Why not? I can stand next to any car that I want to. It's not
You're
illegal to
supposed
stand next to a
your car.
car.
They don't know.
That's fine.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I'm allowed to stand wherever I want as long as I'm in
We're
public.
going to check. Make sure
As
you're
long
not
as I'm in
breaking into
public, I'm allowed to stand wherever I want,
it.
man.
No, not necessarily,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Check your
necessarily,
facts,
yes. I know
okay?
my facts. I
No,
know
you
the
don't.
law. You learned the law.
Clearly, the officer speaking to the auditor was tremendously uneducated on the very law he was appointed to uphold. He claimed that the auditor was not allowed to stand on public property, and not near anyone else's car in particular. It's pretty obvious why that's completely ridiculous to say. Anyway, now that the officers were informed that the auditor had no felony warrants or anything of that sort, he was finally released from the illegal and prolonged detainment that came out of pure retaliation.
Can I get your name and badge number? Let me also get his name and badge number as well. What's your name and badge number?
I'm gonna put it on there for you. Deputy Lopez, ID number 4165.
Don't walk behind me, man.
There you go, sir. All right.
What is this one right here?
So don't come back.
What is this?
Don't come back to this property
Why not?
because they don't want you here.
Okay, I'm allowed to be here, man. I'm in public. I have not committed any crime. I don't need to go. I don't need to go nowhere. I don't need to go nowhere. I'm allowed to be in public. If I stand in the street, you're going to give me a ticket for petting the roadway. Exactly. So where am I supposed to stand if you're saying this is their property? This is not their property. Go look at the property lines.
Mr. Chavez.
You owe me a cigarette, man.
Here.
You wasted my cigarette. Don't come back. I'll be back tomorrow. Same spot. Now kick rocks, man. You're dismissed. Get back to work. Go fight some real crime.
As if their tyranny wasn't enough, we've just seen how the officers threatened the auditor not to return to the property, even though it was clear that he had every right to be there. They all eventually left, and we end up with nothing but an important lesson. Be aware of your constitutional rights. Be sure to check out our previous video, where we cover another outrageous police encounter.